Could Justin Fields actually be the Steelers' QB1 for Week 1?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Pickens reacts to his heated exchange with the receivers coach. We'll talk standout stars from camp and more. Big Deke news. Oh, man. Was I wrong? You guys ever watch The Herd? Colin Cowherd, he does that segment where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong. Where Deke was wrong. I thought Russell Wilson was going to practice second day of training camp. And then consequently, he would practice the third day of training camp and the fourth day of training camp. And that the opening day session of him not being there would just be something that we blow over and completely forget about. You know, how Tomlin had Russ take a seat because of the calf injury and everything. It's like, it's just day one of training camp. No big deal. Tomlin was either messing with Russ or he just wanted to take some extra precaution for his QB1. Because Russ said he was good to go. Calf was a little bit tight, but he wanted to get out there. Tomlin was the one that made the decision for Russ to take a seat. And remember, we watched his reaction, and it just seemed like Tomlin was a little bit too excited to be sitting Russ out. A little bit too excited. Is that more about him wanting to see what Justin Fields got, or was that because he was messing with Russ a little bit, wanted to give him some adversity, and Tomlin takes pleasure in that type of stuff? I don't know. But given that reaction and then seeing how these last 3 days played out, it's got me thinking, dude, is this QB1 spot a little bit more open than what I was thinking? And it could be. Because Justin Fields up to this point has gotten all the QB1 reps. Russ has sat out not only day 1, but day 2, day 3, and day 4. His workload apparently has ramped up a little bit, but it's just been all individual work. Not like the official QB1 reps like Justin Fields has been getting. I don't know, man. It's either Tomlin really believes in Russ like that, and it's just like, bro, we're good. Don't worry about this calf. We're going to take extra precaution. Or he's like, bro, you know what? Let's see what this Fields guy got. Russ, you're good, man. Take a seat. Because remember what I said on Friday. Like, my expectations were Russ is going to be out there day 2 and day 1 and him sitting out with the calf injury. It's going to be something we completely forget about. It's going to be water under the bridge. It's whatever. This is Russ's team. But I also said, listen, if Russ keeps sitting out here and Fields keeps getting these QB1 reps, this could get a little dicey for Russ. Could get a little bit dicey. Now, my money is still on Russ. That has been my message this whole offseason. Russ is a proven winner. He's a Hall of Famer. He knows what it takes. If you're betting on like one of these two to win games for you in the upcoming season, I'm betting on Russell Wilson because he has won games. He is proven. He's way more clutch in the fourth quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Just has been a better quarterback than Justin Fields. Flat out. We know Justin Fields got the talent, though. And that's what's intriguing about him. But I do wonder, with how this situation has played out, if this QB1 spot's more open than what I was thinking. And a lot of people, I'm not the only one thinking that right now. A lot of people, national media, I think even those within Steelers media, are wondering, maybe this is more of a coin toss than we thought. Maybe this is more may the best man win as opposed to, all right, Russell Wilson, this is your job to lose. Maybe. Was that the plan the whole time? Or is it just more due to Russ and this calf injury and, hey, living in the moment? Like, this is the situation that was placed in front of us. Fields is getting these QB1 snaps, and by all accounts, he's been looking pretty decent. Some are saying it's been a mixed bag, but we've also got to see the top end of what Justin Fields could be in a Steeler uniform, the potential, the upside. And we've actually got to see what his top end, his potential, and his upside is in the league throughout his first 3 years with the Chicago Bears. It's the inconsistencies that pop up with him, the footwork, the accuracy, all that stuff. And, yeah, some are saying that has popped up in training camp. But we've also got to see some crazy awesome throws. We've also got to see his athleticism on display. And that's Justin Fields. Has that won games in the league thus far? Not to the extent that we would like. Now, his last year with the Bears has been his best year. His third year, it looked like he started to turn the corner a little bit. But it's Russell Wilson, man. It's Russell Wilson. I know these last couple of years with the Broncos haven't looked amazing, but basically had a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. And Sean Payton and him weren't seeing eye to eye. He got benched like the last 2 games of the season. So it legitimately, I mean, for him, he could have easily had 33, 34 total touchdowns, single-digit interceptions. You kidding me? Like, that can't be all garbage time numbers. That can't be all fool's gold numbers last year. He was like number 1 in, I think, quarterback efficiency in the red zone. So there's a lot to like about Russell Wilson still. But we've also got to see him in Seattle do some impressive things and leading a team, being the franchise, winning a Super Bowl, going on deep playoff runs, being clutch. We still have yet to see that from Justin Fields. We've yet to see Justin Fields just have a winning record in the regular season. So my money is still on Russ, but I'm not the one making these decisions. Mike Tomlin is. And how Mike Tomlin has played this quarterback scenario thus far, it's either, like I said, it's either one way or another up to this point. It's either he has a lot of faith in Russell Wilson and is like, yo, we really don't want to risk further injury. Like, you're our guy. We need you for the regular season. Don't worry about it, bro. I trust you. Don't stress out with this. Or he's trying to make Russ a little uncomfortable here, and he's willing to see what Justin Fields can bring to the table. He's willing to keep an open mind about this whole quarterback competition. Like, that's my take on this thus far. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Now, moving on, let's talk George Pickens, because he was in the headlines last week early in training camp because he had a quote-unquote heated exchange with the Steelers' new wide receivers coach. So if you hear anything about Pickens with being upset, anything like that, you know it's going to make headlines. It's going to be something we're reacting to and talking about. But he responded to what took place, and he gave his opinion on the new receivers coach. Reporting done by Ray Fittipaldo from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Pickens said, Azzanni is a great guy. High energy for sure. Kirby Smart is kind of like that, so I had a coach like that in college. It's not a huge change for me. That's just Coach Z's personality. So Pickens is downplaying the whole incident here. Pickens is downplaying that there's any beef between him and the new wide receivers coach. So that's something you like to see. And I think it goes hand in hand with how I first reacted to the report last week. Now, yes, we could say this is something to monitor. This is something to talk about. This is something that, get your eyes open a little bit because of Pickens' past and his reputation with this type of stuff. But also at the same time, it is day 1 of training camp. Let's not overreact here. We got a whole new system, whole new coaching staff, whole new way of doing things. Pickens is a passionate player. He is a star receiver. So there might be some friction. Pickens is a star receiver, and on the other side of it, you got Coach Z, who by all accounts is a tough position coach. He's hard on his players. Demands respect, demands discipline. So, yeah, maybe day 1 of training camp, there could be some friction. There might be some back and forth, and there might be some of that going forward. But as long as it doesn't cross the line of disrespect or there's not a respect between the two parties, then, okay, it is what it is, man. Like, it's the NFL. It's not like this type of stuff hasn't happened before. Like, come on. I brought up examples last week. This is just another case of playing football, being a professional football player, being a professional football coach, and having some emotions spill over at times. Like, it happens, man. It's not that big of a deal. And I'm happy Pickens downplayed it and pointed that him and Coach Z are actually, I mean, there's no beef. In fact, he likes the new wide receivers coach. So there you have it with Pickens. Let's go to some standouts. We'll briefly go over some names that have popped up in a bunch of training camp reports and who people are talking highly about and showcasing their skills. So we already talked about Fields a little bit. There's been some good coming out of camp with Justin Fields. You like to see that. Dante Jackson, the newcomer on defense in the secondary at the cornerback spot, traded Deontay Johnson for him, and I saw the video that Deontay Johnson had a drop, wide open drop down in Panthers training camp, and Panthers fans are already talking about it, and Deontay Johnson is responding on social media. So maybe the Steelers knew what they were doing when making that trade. Maybe they knew that Deontay wasn't going to be a fit for the program going forward. They wanted some of that noise out of here. And Deontay, he was not a toxic player. He was not, I don't think, was a locker room cancer or anything like that. But there would be just some noise, just some little passive-aggressive things that would pop up from Deontay Johnson from time to time that makes you wonder if that's what the Steelers want around here going forward, especially with a young guy like Pickens trying to ascend. It's like, do we want that example being set here? And you know what? Another +1 for Pickens, too. I just saw a headline from Roman Wilson saying that Pickens is showing that he's a leader, early leader in this wide receiver room, this new wide receiver room. So, yeah, I think Pickens we could throw in here in terms of, like, standout. But, yeah, Dante Jackson, he's been getting some PBUs, keeping up with top receivers like George Pickens out there. So that's something you like to see because he's getting up there in age. Now, speed is his claim to fame and everything, but you just never know. Coming off of such a bad injury that he had a couple years ago. Now, he did start every game for the Panthers last year, but he is also another year older. It's good seeing that he can still keep up with some of the young guys, some of the guys that are still in their prime, like a Pickens. Peyton Wilson, yeah, they're saying he's as advertised, flying all over the field out there with Cole Holcomb and his injury being on the PUP list. That's giving Peyton Wilson an opportunity to get some significant snaps and significant reps in training camp. And I'm telling you, man, I said this. This was one of my predictions going into camp that Peyton Wilson is going to show out. If he's given the amount of reps that enables him to showcase his skills in I guess a decent manner, then it's going to be tough to keep him off the field. And that's what it's looking like. Roman Wilson, I think he's just picking up from where he left off OTAs. Day 3, he was a star. Like to see that. And then Beanie Bishop making a case for being the Steelers' starting slot corner. It looks like he's getting a bunch of the starting reps. He's been following Cam Sutton around. Cam Sutton's been showing him the ropes. So Beanie Bishop might be that dude that we're talking about in the slot when the regular season comes around, because obviously Cam Sutton's going to be suspended for 8 games. And the competition between him, Graylin Arnold, Josiah Scott, Anthony Averett, and Beanie Bishop's been getting the most buzz. Joey Porter Jr. was speaking highly on him. Maybe he's going to be a fit. And it seems like, based off his style of play, the extra physicality that he brings, how he played at West Virginia, it seems like he's a fit for being a Pittsburgh Steeler and playing that inside cornerback spot. So let's wait and see with him. Yeah, that's it. Those are the names I want to bring up. Obviously, TJ Watt, Cam Hayward. Like, there's guys that are tried and proven out there. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren. I brought up Pickens a little bit here, but like we know what Pickens is. JPJ. We know what some of these guys are. Minka, we don't need to go over them. But yeah, those are the names I'm hearing. If there's anyone I missed, you could drop their name in the comments. But so far, so good, it looks like, for Steelers training camp. No major injuries. Knock on wood. It's just this QB1 spot is getting interesting. Things are getting intriguing with the quarterback position right now. I wasn't expecting that. Definitely was not expecting that. But let me know your thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed this edition of Big Deke News. Stay chilling, and peace.